Well, here we got an article from Natural News. The top 10 most evil, demonic, but true events of 2019 that indicate the rise of Satanism. Many Americans are still in perpetual denial about it, but there's no doubt that Satanism is rapidly infecting every crevice of our land. Here are 10 of the most disturbing examples of when a nation patently rejects God and embraces the God of this world. Organ donor. Organs are cut out of patients' bodies even while they are conscious and aware, horrifying new science study reveals. There's a whole lot of cash to be made from harvesting people's healthy organs and selling them to wealthy transplant patients. And this is exactly what's happening at hospitals from coast to coast, even while the donor patients are still alive and conscious. It's happening. Colorado public schools now requiring students to role-play child sacrifice poems as part of a rape training indoctrination. Some American public schools are now instructing children to recite satanic poems like Allen Ginsberg's Howl, which contains language so vulgar that we won't repeat it here. Along with reading filthy language, these same children are also being told to pretend as though they are being raped or sodomized as a part of their sexual education. Whole Foods sponsors Drag Queen Story Hour to indoctrinate children with perversion, pedophilia, and transgenderism. The year 2019 was a big year for the spread of Drag Queen Story Hour, an LGBT perversion event that is being held not only for public libraries, but also at Whole Foods market stores. Drag Queen Story Hour, in case you are unfamiliar, typically involves a biological man dressed as a very slutty woman reading books to children, and possibly even dancing and prowling around on the floor while growling like a demon. The annihilation agenda. Why globalists are actively working to exterminate 90% of the human race, just like the infamous Georgia Guidestone instructed them to do so. The globalists, aka Satanists, are actively trying to reduce the world's population by a whopping 90%. This mass depopulation agenda, which is being pushed by the likes of Microsoft Bill Gates, is what these people's God, Satan, requires of them in order to maintain the power, influence, and wealth they have come to expect. Whistleblower tells all, claiming Hillary Clinton, Chuck Schumer, Kirsten Gillibrand, and other prominent Democrats are involved in human trafficking, sex slavery, and Satanism. It's starting to creep out of the woodwork that many prominent politicians, mostly the left, are pedophiles who traffic innocent children and sell them into sex slavery, and in many cases these demonic individuals sexually abuse children themselves. Some of the bigger names that a whistleblower recently outed for their involvement in these satanic practices include failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, Chuck Schumer, and Kirsten Gillibrand. Celebrated Democrat Beto O'Rourke outed wearing devil goat costume. Left-wing media tries to spin a narrative away from Satanism. Speaking of evil politicians, failed Texas politician Robert Beto O'Rourke is another such Satanist who is caught this year dressed up as a devil goat costume. Similar to the Baphomet concept, Beto costume and mask were a tribute to his god, the devil himself. Kamala Harris reveals herself as an anti-Christian bigot who hates God and anyone who recognizes the existence of God. There's also failed California Senator Kamala Harris, another Satanist who came out this year as an anti-Christian bigot who wants to see God extinguished not just from California but from the entire country. It is a good thing she dropped out of the 2020 presidential race, not that she ever stood a chance of actually winning. spiritual guru of Brazil ran sex slave farm. The United States is not the only country where Satanism abounds. Down in Brazil, a spiritual guru by the name of João Teixeira de Faria, or John of God, was outed for running a sex slave camp disguised as a retreat center. According to reports, Faria was raping women, selling their babies, and committing all sorts of other human rights atrocities, all while claiming to be a man of God. Had a little pause. My sweet Elma just came home. Well, let me continue. The rise of Satanism, Whole Foods, Monsanto, and all the perverted Democrats, or should we call them Demo-rats. Satanism is not just being mainstream throughout America, it's also being corporatized. In addition to Whole Foods' adoption of Drag Queen Story Hour, Amazon is also selling demonic children books that teach little ones how to summon demons. And who could forget Monsanto, the world's most evil chemical company that has genetically modifying human beings into lobotomized zombies with its Roundup, glyphosate herbicide. And I have something funny to show you regarding Monsanto on the Hebrew calculator. My wife actually found that, but I don't exactly know where that video is she made, so I'm going to look it up myself and show you that Monsanto says 666. So does Santa Claus, so does New York. No wonder. Leftist demand, and also this new Austrian leader, Sebastian Kurz, he also shows up as 666, and he's came out of nowhere, got the prime minister seat in Austria, and he's been in Israel lately, speaking to the Israelites about how sad he is of Austria's involvement in the Nazi Germany in World War II, because most Nazis came out of Austria, which is also that country which Adam Weishaupt, a Satanist, the creator of Illuminati, came out of. So, guess the apple don't fall far from the tree, right? So, leftists demand eliminating all Christian crosses from public view, claiming it triggers them. Political correctness is now equivalent to Satanism. Since the U.S. were originally founded upon Christian principles, this surge of Satanism requires that all remaining traces of America's true spiritual heritage be removed, including crosses and other emblems and symbols of Christianity that trigger leftists. The only form of religion that is accepted by the left would seem to be Islam, as well as atheism, the god of where their beloved communist and socialist ideas come out of. God forbid they win the White House in 2020. This will drive the final nail into our country's coffin. And that's the hardcore facts. So let's go to the calculator and let me show you something. God bless you. Okay, here we go while the train is passing. So we were talking about Monsanto, right? So let's say M O N S A N, and where is the T? T and the O, 666. You see that? No question about it. So let's take another one. New York, N E W Y. Where's Y? There. Y O R and the K there. 666. And then Santa Claus, which is clearly satanic, has nothing to do with God or anything, and that is something that children unfortunately being told that he exists, and every year the military industrial complex NORAD is sitting and taking phone calls from children wanting to give wishes and so on to Santa Claus while they are tracking his travel across the northern hemisphere, or should we say America. It's ridiculous. But let's take it on. There's probably much more. S A N T A C L A U and S. 666. That's interesting, right? And then there's this guy from Austria I was talking about, Sebastian Kurz. S E B A S T, where are you? T and I A N. And his last name K. How did we find that out? Because see, now we're over, so that's not right. So what is his real name? Sebastian. S A B A S T I A N and K U. No, we're getting over. How did that fit? Let me have a look. Sebastian Kurz. I think that's his real name. There he is. This guy, why is it not showing up? But this guy is strange. So why is he not showing up? It is Sebastian. So where did I get that from? Did I do something wrong? E B Sebastian. You're already running high, right? You see, that ain't gonna work. Because when I hit the U, we're already over. Let me finish it up. And Z. Whoa. That's what I mean. Okay. That don't mean anything. Right? But it's 2 9 and 1 6. You can flip those 2 9s and we got 666. I don't know if that has any relevance at all. Love. I can't get his name to be 666, but it's 996. Huh. You know, the Austrian Prime Minister or Chancellor.
It might have been using a different calculator.
Yeah, that could be, but I'm just relying on this one. So this is the perp who saying that Austrians should you know, take their responsibility in their participation of the persecution of Jewish people in Germany and around Europe during the Second World War. This guy is not married. He is a completely unknown figure. He's young, and according to women, he's handsome. So he might as well, we never know, he could be the guy, but I'm not saying he is because no one bloody know who he is, and let's not speculate too much. But this guy he's strange, out of bloody nowhere, becoming the leader of Austria, the high seat of Nazism, which is Satanism. You can call it what you want, but that's what it is. Anything that is to oppress people, turning them into slaves, any kind of persecution of any religion or so on, anything, that's not of God, because that's not love. When you persecute people, that's not love. But when we talk about this transgenderism, which is a hot potato, well, I have it like this. You can feel whatever you want to inside your brain, because there's something wrong with the brain chemistry or your upbringing. All you need to do is go get naked and get in front of a mirror, look between your legs and see what's there. Is there a slit or a hose? If there's a slit, you are a woman. If there's a hose, you are a man. End of story. Whatever you feel inside, I don't care. What's between your legs is defining what you are of sex. Period. That's just how it is. It's that simple. Go look in the mirror if you're in doubt. What am I? And there's a lot of people that wants to be what they are not. And that's actually very sad. Because everybody is put to this planet and they have a task, a purpose that they have to carry out. And it is definitely not cutting the hose off and become a woman like the Kardashian. What is his name? Is Gilla, former tennis player, and now he's regretting it. No wonder. I would regret it too if I did something that stupid. But that's how it is, and we are not allowed, according to YouTube, to talk about these subjects. But well, I'm not ridiculing them, and I'm not talking down to them. I'm just saying that there gotta be something mentally wrong if you decide that you are another sex than you are born as. That's something wrong in your brain chemistry, or in your upbringing, or maybe the school you're going to. All these combined makes you being doubt of what you are, of identity. But there is no doubt about your identity. It is again going to the mirror naked and look between your legs. What's there? That defines what you are, and that's the role you have to play out in this life on earth. And you only have this life. You don't come back. There is no reincarnation. That's something Satan also put up. So, over and out, and God bless you all.